Okay, welcome back to the Frame Mindset Podcast. My name is Concept Brooks, and this episode is, you know, you reach one of the frustrating things when you're trying to, when you're raising levels, going up the richest level or coming out of poverty is that certain things, certain levels become frustrating because you're flustered. And what happens that sometimes you're on that level alone, and then what happens that in this situation, like I reach a very great level where I have somewhat of a secure job, nice income, uh, have roof over my head and all this stuff. But what happened is that because of all those stuff, I have all these various opportunities and things, and then not only that, a lot of things going wrong. Like boom, I'm in the third year of home ownership. A lot of the things are breaking down, not working, and all those stuff. And then what happens like with the work, how the work was going, like yo, I was not do a lot of overtime by the time I come home tired and all these stuff. So like washing and all these things don't you never you're doing it and then boom, you're not even able to fold the clothes well. You can't even when I cook you can't even get to wash the plates well. So it's what happens that you're blessed to the fact that you reach this level. But this level actually takes much more time management. And what happens is that the certain things like said like one of my so way back I said something like, remember the days when I wish I could have a job or something like that, and then what happens that boom, you have a job, and then what happens that you basically have to be working every single day except you have the day off or something like that, and then boom, maybe overtime and all these things. So it's like you wish to be on that level, and then what happens that the reality of what being at that level comes with, and what happens that flusteredness at that level because you were mentally prepared of what it will take. But what happens is that sometimes you have to just take it slow. Just take it slow and just write down what you can do is write down the various tasks and just basically take your time and approach it. And then eventually the compound interest again where you just basically one time you just click and then you just okay once you come home you know that you're doing that. Just doing those tasks becomes natural. But not only that, boom, the thing about it is that the flustered and that level make you forget back to the previous episode again, forget your blessings. Because as I said, I'm on this level flustered and all those, but I'm that much closer to where driving can become a norm. I'm that much closer, and if driving can become a norm, that can open so much more opportunities for me. But what happens is that because I'm so flustered on this level, I, would forget that blessing that could come in the future. But, me flustered and trying to not not keeping my head calm and all those stuff make me forget that. We make me forget that. And that's the thing where sometimes like certain levels you feel flustered and stuff. Same thing again with university, third year and all those stuff. Uh, the last stretch of the university that's basically flustered and you're thinking about life after university. I want to do your masters and all those so flustered at that level. Then what happens that because I was so flustered and then the lackadaisical self with me, boom, I end up did not reach the point where I could go transition to the next level as easy as I would want it to be. But the thing about that situation, it was kind of necessary because the thing about that, the next level, and that's the thing, I guess maybe in a future episode, the next level was the next level that me at the last year of university would not be able to. It's not that he could not do that level, but that I'll just be more work and less sleep again. It's like you don't get the time to actually. What may happen is that I go and do something that I didn't want to do. You know, that's what would be there. Don't take the time to actually think about what you want to do, and that's the thing where ideally you're going on this journey and then boom, you're being promoted, but you're not promoted in the way that you want. And what means that you're basically getting, you're not, you're not doing your dream life. You're basically following the motions. So that's one of the things where the first part of the episode is taking the day to just basically get an idea of what your dream life is, and then get an idea of what your life wants to be like, so that even when you're being thrust into these levels that you're blessed to be at, you're level headed to say, don't forget the mission, don't forget why you're there. And the thing about it is that you can, it's many reasons why I'm there, but there are different priorities. Like, you have to, like, boom, I want to go and do the next level of masters, but I also want to come out of poverty and all those stuff. I also want all these things that I didn't have younger and all different way. There are different things, but just that, you know, I can't have them all at once. So I have to basically stay the time and just be calm and just approach it one day at a time. And then what happens is that it will compound. But what happens is that sometimes you basically are thrust into the opportunity that you don't have the time to think about. You don't have the time to think about how to approach it correctly. It's like you're basically flustered and then boom, you flop. I think you have things like burnout and all these things. All these things are natural. But you just have to just basically be calm and just do it, and then you just reach it. What will happen is that eventually you just be acclimated to that level, and then you can compound on it where the level again can be better. So boom, and now I'm at this work where the lifting bag was such a mess with my back and all also, but I'm getting stronger now. So if for some reason, boom, I say boom, I take out the driving position, and then boom, I can't do it. The flexibility that I gain from approaching that work and just going for that opportunity, you know, I have very various options. For the fact is I could go to the gym, work on my back, and so I could just do that part of the work better. Or the fact is I could just basically be competent at the driving part where I basically do less of that part regardless. But the thing is that you have to actually try to go to that level. But sometimes you're so flustered when you're in the working environment and stuff like that, you're so flustered and not you're thrown into it. You don't have time to basically think and stuff, and that can basically throw you off. But if you basically just take the time, because that's the thing about the working world. Working world is so fast, bro. It's so fast for no reason. I guess it's fast for a reason, but the reason what happens is that over time the reason becomes so stupid, because in the long run, because you don't realize what you're losing. Like boom, you're saying you're rushing to, like boom, you're in the employment season, you're rushing to get employees, you rush through and all those stuff, but you don't have competent employees. Those stuff, those stuff don't make any sense. But you have the other side of me, me coming out and just not able to get any work. So, I have to just basically take the good and the bad. But as I said, you have to just basically be like, yo, certain level, that basically the episode is like, yo, certain levels, you're going to be thrust into it, and it's going to be like, bruh, it's going to be so flustered because you're like, you have so limited time and so much stuff to do, but you you can't just leave that level because that level is not just don't just come by every day. So you just like you can't leave that level, but at the same time you can't. You have your skill, your time management skill have to be on another level to actually acclimate to it. And it's like, yo, yeah. So that's basically for this episode. Thank you for listening and look forward for the next episode. Mhm.